Let's get straight to it. 2015 Chrysler 200. This is the V6 3.7 liter engine. First thing we're going to do, remove this negative battery terminal. So we have to remove this cover right here. It's very easy. Just pull up on each side. There's 4 places that it holds on to. So if you pull up in this corner here and this corner, it might just pull up the whole thing. Like that corner just pulled up. But if not, just pull up in all 4 corners. And then eventually you can pop the whole thing up. And you can see where they're connected here. Now with that cover off, we can see everything here in the middle that needs to be removed. So the part that we need to get to is way down underneath here. We have to remove this upper intake manifold, and we have to remove the lower intake manifold. And of course, while doing that, we're going to be removing all these air tubes and the throttle body over there. So we got to remove this piece right here. But most of the time, there's a clip that sits in here. You got to push it out about halfway and you can pull this off. So since this doesn't have the clip for this one isn't there, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this now. And once that's off, just pull these. They have the little clips here too. Just pull those clips off. That way it's not connected to this upper manifold, which we need to remove. On the side here, there's a vacuum line we can pull. So we need to remove this from this tube here. So you're either gonna remove this from this tube or this tube from this nipple. So just go ahead and start and remove this. Easy as that. So let's get this wiring harness right here out of the way. So there's a couple things we need to remove to get that out of the way. We need to remove this one here. There's a harness there, a harness here, and a harness here. So let's remove 1, 2, 3, 4 harnesses, and then we'll be able to move that out of the way. So to begin with, we'll start with the one here. All we got to do is pull this red tab back. Then you should be able to squeeze this and pull this right off of there like that. On the back side here, there's another harness. This one's more simple. There's no tab to push back. Just push that down and you can pull that out just like that. And then there's 2 more left. So the one right up here on this vapor canister solenoid, just push that tab down and pull back, simple like this. And then the one right here, there's a red tab on this one here on the throttle body. So just push that tab back just like that. So I'm pushing this tab back now, and then just pull that harness right off just like that. Now all of these harnesses are free, all 3 of these here, and then that one right there. So I can move this. There's a clip right here. Let's get that clip. Just pull that clip straight off of there. So you can just use a flathead or something and pry that clip right off of there just like that. And then there's another clip that's holding this wire in right down there. You can use a body panel clip tool like that to get underneath it and just pry that right up just like that. So now with all of these removed, we can just set this out of the way off to the side somewhere. Let's get this air tube up right here. So there's a flathead or an 8mm to loosen this up. So we're just gonna use a flathead, make things quicker. And then once you get those loosened, we should be able to pop this boot off of here. You can tell it's been a while since these have been off. There it is. So right back here on the back of the throttle body, over here there's another hose clamp to be removed. And this is the front of the throttle body actually. And once that's loose, so normally there's a little clip down here holding this on, but you can see it's not on right now. All right, so there's one more tab here that needs to be removed by using a body panel clip. So once we get these loosened up and this one here off and then this clip here removed as well, now we can move this around and pull this off of this throttle body. Okay, so now we need to remove this vapor canister solenoid out of the way. We don't necessarily have to disconnect it from anything else. So over here, there's a tube that's on top of this intake manifold. So if you spin that a couple of times, twist it and pull up, you can get that off. Then you can unhook it from right there. And then right here, all you gotta do is pull this up like that. And now this whole piece here is free and we can set that to the side. All right, so on the front side over here, there's two nuts. You can see one here and one here that need to be removed to get this loose. I'm just gonna use a ratchet wrench to get these off. It's probably the easiest thing to use. You can use a small socket and ratchet, and you can also use a regular wrench that's not ratcheting. It just takes you a little bit longer. But when you break these free, they're pretty good at coming off by hand. So you can just break them free with a regular wrench as well and finish getting them off by hand. There's a hose right in the back of this intake manifold on this nipple here. And if you just twist it a couple of times like that, you hear it pop, and then you'll be able to just pull that off just like that. And now, so now everything is pretty much disconnected. And we can actually get this intake manifold up. So if you look down here, these are the bolts to getting this up. So there's one bolt here, one here, one here, one here, one right down there, and then there's one here and one down in here. So that's three on this back row here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 on this front row here. So that's 7 bolts in total that we need to remove, and these are also 8 millimeters. So we're gonna get all of these up right now. All right, so that's all 7 bolts. So now that we have all 7 of these bolts up and these 2 nuts here off, just lift up on this. And that's pretty much how to get that off there. All right, so once you get that off, now you can see the second level here. So this is the lower, and we need to get that off next. And we're gonna be changing these gaskets and everything, so don't worry about those. When we get the new one on, we're replacing those gaskets. So we're gonna focus on getting this middle one up now. So to make sure nothing gets down in these holes and then down in these valve chambers, I'm going to put a clean rag over these. So I'm going to make sure I stuff it in each of these holes. That way nothing falls down into this. And I'm only going to put the rag over the area here. That way I can still get this out. You don't want to cover up the bolts that we need to remove. So just make sure that your rag or towels stay out of the way, and just they only need to be inside these holes. So there's 2 tabs here that should come up. This is going to make it easier to move these lines out of the way when we got to get that middle intake up. So we pull these 2 tabs up, and then you can see your fuel injectors. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more on the opposite side. So we need to pull these red tabs up, and then once those red tabs are pulled up like that, then we can squeeze this and pull this harness off of that fuel injector. So let's do the same thing for all 6 of these injectors. Now this next step that I did, you don't have to do, but I removed all of 3 of these harnesses from the ignition coils. That way I can just remove this whole wire clear out of the way. Otherwise it will be hanging around this area a little bit. You can still get it removed without removing these. So that's why I'm just letting you know, you do not have to remove the ignition coil harnesses, but it does make it a lot easier. All right, so this fuel line here, if you use a pick or a very small screwdriver, you can actually get in here and push this side down. Just pull it out a little bit and push. You can see it coming out from the bottom. Just pull it out. All right, so we're pulling this out now. Might as well get that all the way out. And now we can pull this. Now, you're going to have to expect some fuel to come out of here. So I'm going to cover this up with a rag just in case. All right, so now we can start to get these bolts up. So there's 4 bolts in the front. You have one here, one here, one here, and one here. And then there's also 4 bolts in the back. One here, one here, one here, and one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these up now. All right, so over here in the corner is a little plastic tab that you need to pop up. Otherwise, this is gonna hold it from being able to get out. So pop that tab up. I mean, it pretty much is broke, but we're gonna get it out anyways. It's not really that important. All right, so now that we have everything loose, we can actually go ahead and pick this on up now. So just like that. And so this is the bottom of it. So we're gonna go ahead and set this down. So we're gonna change these gaskets as well. So there's no need to try to clean those up. We're gonna get a whole new kit for all of these. All right, so once we get all this up, now we can see our oil temperature sensor right here. And the one down there is the oil pressure sensor. But we're worrying about the oil temperature sensor for this video. So yeah, as you can see, we've already got all of our holes plugged up with the with some towels to make sure we don't get anything down into our valves. Now we can just focus on the sensor. So this is red tab here that I already pulled it back, but you can pull that tab back and then press that harness down and pull this off. Now yours might come off a little harder. I already took this off once, so that's why it came off so smooth. And once you get that off, you can kind of see what your sensor looks like there. So that's what your sensor looks like. It's a 2-pin, and hopefully this can help you get your part and identify your part before buying one and taking all this off just to find out that you got the wrong part. So you can use a 19mm or a 3/4 socket to get this out. So I'm gonna go ahead with the 3/4, and it fits right on there just like that. Now let's go ahead and break this free. Just like that. Nice and easy. All right, so this is your sensor, guys. This is what your sensor looks like. This is your oil temperature sensor here. So there goes the keyways and 2-pin. So hopefully this can help you find your right part. And of course, I'm gonna always say it's better to change this whole oil filter unit as one. This is like a, you have your oil, your oil cooler, your oil filter, and your sensors all in one. So if you're gonna do all the work to get down here, just go ahead and change this whole thing. That's just my recommendation. But this video is just about this sensor here. So this is what I'm showing you now. All right, so to put your new sensor in, clearly it's not that much different. Just put your socket over it. Once it started to thread a little bit, put your socket over it and you can finish threading that in. And then we're gonna put our ratchet back on here and finish getting that in there. Let's get our harness back on. All right, so now we can start cleaning everything up and getting everything ready to get back on. Well, that's it, guys. That's how you change this part.